Fleur Fluency podcast, brought to you by Fleur. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed a colleague at work who does amazing work, but somehow remains completely invisible to everyone else?
Oh, absolutely. The classic quiet worker in the corner office. Excellent reports, always turns in tasks on time, perfectly reliable. But when promotion time comes around, or when new projects are assigned, they get completely passed over.
Passed over. That is the exact phrase. And honestly, I believe a lot of English learners relate to that exact feeling. They work hard, they understand their responsibilities inside and out, and they hold really valuable ideas. But the very moment a group discussion begins, their English just disappears.
It just packs its bags and steps out the door. Goodbye, I'll see you after the meeting. But truly, that sensation is very real. If you have ever felt invisible in your career simply because your English couldn't quite catch up to your actual intelligence, this episode was created specifically for you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fleur Fluency, your comfortable space for mastering natural, easy English through real daily dialogues. I'm Fleur.
And I'm Heron. Today's episode is built around simple, practical English for your everyday professional life. We're exploring how to speak up with real confidence in meetings, during group projects, when giving feedback, and during those quick daily office chats where clarity matters most.
We are going to take basic, plain sentences, the kind that many learners rely on out of habit, and transform them into sentences that sound clear, natural, and confident. You see, the problem is rarely your idea. Your idea is usually great, but your phrasing is just a little too plain or tired.
Exactly. We are giving your vocabulary a fresh boost of energy. Before we dive into our first topic, if these practical lessons bring value to your learning journey, please take a quick second to like this episode and subscribe to Fleur Fluency. It truly helps us keep producing these free daily lessons for you. Now, let's talk about that first big challenge, doing great work without remaining hidden.
Yes, because it feels deeply frustrating to put in full effort and have nobody notice, doesn't it?
It really does. Imagine a team member named Sarah. Sarah meets every single deadline, quietly fixes errors made by others, writes clean reports, and double-checks every detail. But when the big weekly meeting starts...
In meetings, she sits quietly in the back. She tells herself, "It's fine. My work will speak for itself."
Ah, yes, my work will speak for itself. It sounds very nice in theory, doesn't it? But in a fast-paced workplace, your work cannot talk. You have to be the voice for your work.
Exactly. People are busy with their own tasks. They won't notice your extra efforts unless you actively communicate what you're doing. So a basic sentence many learners use is, "I do my tasks." Now, that is not incorrect English, but it sounds very plain and passive.
It sounds like a computer program running in the background. Task completed. Task completed.
Exactly. A far more effective sentence is, "I want to be more proactive and share my ideas."
Proactive is such a powerful word. Being proactive means you don't just sit around waiting for your manager to hand you step-by-step instructions. You look ahead, you notice what needs to be done, and you take action early. And remember, being proactive does not mean you're being bossy or loud.
Not at all. It simply means you help solve a small issue before it turns into a massive emergency. So instead of staying quiet or saying, "I do my work," try using, "I want to be more proactive and share my ideas." Let's practice this together in a full role play. I'll be an employee who wants to show more initiative, and you play my manager. Let's go. Thanks for taking a moment to chat. I've been reflecting on my role recently, and moving forward, I want to be more proactive. If I notice a way to improve our workflow, I plan to share my ideas earlier rather than waiting.
Wow, I really appreciate you bringing that up. We love seeing that kind of initiative. What specific ideas are you thinking about right now?
Well, I noticed our team often runs out of time on Friday afternoons trying to finish final reviews. I think if we schedule a quick 10-minute check-in on Wednesday morning, we can catch those minor delays early and fix them without stress.
Look at that. That is a perfect demonstration. Notice how polite, helpful, and professional that sounds? You aren't complaining, you're offering a solution before the problem happens. That's proactivity in action.
But some learners tell me if I try to speak more, I get nervous. I talk too fast, my thoughts get tangled up, and I lose my point completely.
Ah, yes, the famous run-on sentence where you start talking about a budget report and somehow end up talking about what you had for lunch 3 days ago. But listen closely. Good professional communication is never about speaking for a long time. It's about speaking with clarity.
Exactly. A basic phrase here is, I want to say my idea. Again, people will understand you, but it sounds a little hesitant. A much stronger alternative is, I want to articulate my idea clearly.
Articulate. Articulate. To articulate means to express your thoughts in a clear, organized way so that the other person grasps your meaning without confusion.
And here's a huge relief for every English learner listening right now. You do not need perfect grammar to articulate your point. You can make a small mistake with your prepositions or tenses, and as long as your main point is structured, you're still articulating your idea effectively.
Absolutely. Don't wait until your English grammar is 100% perfect before you open your mouth. If you wait for perfection, you'll sit in silence forever. Let's practice this in a meeting setup. Pretend you're in a group meeting, you have a solid idea, but you need everyone to slow down and listen.
I'd like to take a quick moment to articulate my idea clearly. I believe the main delay in our project isn't caused by a lack of time, but by having too many approval steps before we can move forward.
That's a very interesting point. So you're saying if we simplify the review process, we can meet our deadlines much easier?
Yes, exactly.
Notice short, structured, and completely clear. No long speech, no rambling, just a clean, well-articulated point. Now, let's move on to one of the most awkward moments anyone can experience at work, when someone explains something to you and you have absolutely no idea what they just said.
Oh, goodness. That exact moment where you are smiling politely on the outside, while on the inside, your brain is completely blank.
Yes, everyone around the table is nodding their heads, so you start nodding your head too. You just smile, nod, and pray that somebody sends a detailed summary email after the meeting finishes.
We have all done it. But in all seriousness, staying silent when you are confused is a trap. Many learners feel embarrassed to ask for help because they think it makes them look uneducated. But in reality, asking a good question proves that you are paying close attention and care about getting the details right.
Exactly. A standard response when you are lost is simply, I don't understand. Now, there's nothing wrong with that sentence, but in a corporate or formal setting, it can sound a bit blunt or abrupt.
A much softer, professional phrase is, could you clarify that point for me?
Clarify means to make something clear or easier to understand. So instead of telling someone, you made no sense to me, you're politely asking, could we make that specific detail a little sharper?
You can also combine it with this wonderful phrase, I'm not entirely sure I follow. Could you clarify the main objective?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. That is such a polite, smooth way to signal that you missed something without putting any blame on the speaker. Let me demonstrate this with a fun role play. Use some complex, confusing workplace jargon. Well, team, we really need to synergize our internal workflows and leverage our core deliverables before reevaluating the overall timeline for the upcoming quarter.
I appreciate that update. I'm not entirely sure I followed the part about the deliverables. Could you clarify the main objective for this week?
Oh, sure. Simply put, we need to finish our report by Thursday so we can show it to the client on Friday.
Ah, that makes complete sense now. Thank you for clarifying.
Look how easy that was. No embarrassment, no fake nodding, just a quick, polite question that brings immediate clarity. And trust me, half the other people in that meeting were probably confused too and felt relieved that you asked.
That is so true. Now, let's address another critical skill for the workplace, expressing your opinions and disagreeing without causing offense.
Ah, yes, expressing disagreement. This is a very sensitive area for second language speakers.
It really is. If you state your disagreement too weakly, people will ignore your input. But if you state it too directly, you might sound aggressive or rude without meaning to. For instance, if someone presents an idea and you say, I think that is wrong, that drops like a heavy rock in the middle of the room.
It creates
instant tension. A much better, more diplomatic phrase is, from my perspective, this strategy might benefit from a few small changes.
Perspective means your personal way of looking at a situation. When you begin a sentence with, from my perspective, you're signaling, this is simply my view of the situation based on what I see. You're not attacking their work. You're offering an alternative viewpoint.
Exactly. It opens the door for a healthy discussion instead of an argument. Let's try a role play where we hold different opinions on a project schedule.
I really think we should push hard and launch our new service this coming Monday. It will get us ahead of our competitors.
I definitely see why you want to move quickly on this. From my perspective, though, launching on Monday might be a bit risky. Our testing team still needs 2 full days to verify that there are no technical glitches.
That's a very valid point. So what timeline would work better from your perspective?
If we target Wednesday instead, we give our testing team the time they need while still launching this week.
Breaking character? That was smooth, respectful, and effective. You didn't say, that's a terrible idea. You validated their goal first, then introduced your perspective with a clear reason.
That approach works like magic in professional settings. Now, let's talk about building real vocal confidence through the concept of being assertive.
Many learners struggle with confidence because they mix up being assertive with being aggressive. Or to avoid sounding aggressive, they swing completely the other way and become totally passive.
Yes, passive speakers constantly apologize for existing. They say things like, sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt. This might be a silly question, and I'm probably wrong anyway, but maybe if it's okay, could we perhaps consider... Pause. By the time they finish apologizing, everyone has stopped listening.
Being assertive is the golden middle ground. Being aggressive means forcing your view on others while ignoring their feelings. Being passive means hiding your views because you're afraid. Being assertive means stating your thoughts clearly, calmly, and directly while showing total respect for the other person.
A classic assertive formula to memorize is, I understand your point, but I hold a slightly different perspective.
Let's contrast the 3 styles directly so you can hear the difference in vocal tone and word choice.
Aggressive style. No way, that budget plan makes 0 sense. We are definitely not doing that. Passive style. Well, if everyone else likes the budget plan, I guess it's okay. Sorry to bring it up. Assertive style. I understand your points regarding the budget cuts, but I hold a slightly different perspective. I believe reducing funds here could harm the overall quality of our finished product.
Notice how the assertive response stays calm and steady? You don't need to raise your voice to sound strong. A calm, steady voice with clear words is the strongest tone in any room. Now, let's take our understanding of proactivity a step further and look at how to handle unexpected problems at work.
Yes, because problems happen in every single job, every single day.
Exactly. When a problem pops up, passive workers panic or wait silently for their boss to tell them what to do. They say, tell me what task I should do now. But proactive professionals step up. They say, I'll take a proactive approach and prepare a few options.
Look at the difference between those 2 approaches. The first person gives their manager extra work by asking for step-by-step instructions. The second person makes their manager's life 10 times easier by bringing ready-made options to the table.
You don't have to solve the entire crisis all by yourself instantly. Simply presenting 2 or 3 structured options proves that you are actively taking responsibility. Let's role-play this scenario. I just got off the phone with our main vendor. They said the materials we ordered won't arrive until Friday afternoon. That puts our entire project behind schedule.
Thanks for letting me know right away. Don't worry, I'll take a proactive approach and prepare a few options for us. I can look into renting temporary equipment for Thursday, or I can contact a secondary supplier to see if they have stock available sooner. I'll outline the costs for both options and bring them to you by 2 p.m.
Wow, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for taking charge of that.
Look at the relief on the manager's face. Instead of adding to the panic, you brought immediate structure and relief. That is how you build real professional trust.
Now, let's cover our final workplace scenario for today, giving feedback to colleagues or team members.
Giving feedback can feel like walking through a minefield. Nobody enjoys receiving criticism, and nobody enjoys looking like the bad guy.
Right. If you walk up to a colleague and say, your presentation was bad, or this slide is incorrect, they will immediately get defensive and stop listening to you.
Instead, always frame your input around the word constructive. Ask politely, may I share some constructive feedback? Or say, I have a constructive suggestion that might help.
Constructive comes from the word construct, which means to build up. So constructive feedback is not about destroying someone's confidence or pointing out errors just to feel superior. It's about offering helpful suggestions to build a better final result together.
Let's model a constructive feedback conversation. Pretend I just showed you a draft of a marketing email I wrote.
Thanks for sharing this draft with me. You did a fantastic job explaining our product features. It's very clear. May I share some constructive feedback regarding the opening section?
Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I think if we move our special discount offer up to the very first sentence, readers will notice it instantly before they scroll past. What do you think about moving that paragraph to the top?
Oh, that is a great suggestion. That will definitely catch their attention faster. Thank you.
Notice how that conversation was completely smooth and positive? I started by highlighting what was already working well, asked permission to offer feedback using the word constructive, and explained why my suggestion would improve the result.
That is the core theme of our entire episode today. Improving your workplace communication in English is never about using long, overly complex vocabulary or trying to be the loudest voice in the room. It's about choosing clear, polite, and confident phrases like, I want to be more proactive. I want to articulate my idea clearly. Could you clarify that point for me? From my perspective, I understand your point, but I hold a slightly different perspective. May I share some constructive feedback?
Upbeat, direct address. You don't need a native accent or flawless grammar to be an outstanding communicator in your career. You simply need clear ideas paired with reliable, professional phrasing. Now, let's slow our pace down just a little bit and review today's 6 core vocabulary words in our dedicated word overview segment. This will help lock these terms into your memory so you can start using them right away.
Our very first word is proactive. Repeat the pronunciation slowly with us. Proactive. Proactive. Proactive means taking initiative and acting early rather than waiting around for orders.
Let's check a quick grammar point. Is it correct to say, I am proactive person?
Almost. Remember to include the article a. I am a proactive person. Or you can simply say, she is very proactive.
So instead of saying, tell me what task to do, I can say, I'll take a proactive approach and suggest a solution.
Perfect. Our second word is articulate. Repeat it slowly with us. Articulate. Articulate. To articulate means to express your thoughts with clarity and structure.
You can use it as a verb, I want to articulate my thoughts clearly, or as an adjective describing a good speaker. She is an extremely articulate presenter.
If you struggle to explain a complex topic in a meeting, you can say, I have the idea ready, but I need a moment to articulate it clearly.
Our third word is clarify. Repeat it with us. Clarify. Clarify. To clarify means to make a detail clearer or easier to understand.
The noun form of clarify is clarification. So after someone explains a point to you, you can say, thank you for the clarification.
So whenever you are confused during a discussion, don't say, I don't understand. Instead, ask, could you clarify that point for me?
Our fourth word is perspective. Repeat it slowly. Perspective. Perspective. Perspective refers to your particular view, opinion, or way of looking at something.
A wonderful diplomatic phrase to memorize is, from my perspective, this plan might benefit from a few adjustments.
It allows you to share a different opinion politely without sounding argumentative or disrespectful. Our fifth word is assertive. Repeat it with us. Assertive. Assertive.
Being assertive means communicating your thoughts with calm confidence and clarity while maintaining complete respect for others.
If you want to build more confidence in your career, you can say, I am actively working on being more assertive during team discussions.
And our sixth word for today is constructive. Repeat it slowly. Constructive. Constructive. Constructive means helpful, practical, and focused on positive improvement.
Whenever you want to offer suggestions on a colleague's work, open the door politely by asking, may I share some constructive feedback?
That completes our word overview for today. Let's do a quick final check of all 6 terms. 1. Proactive. 2. Articulate. 3. Clarify. 4. Perspective. 5. Assertive. 6. Constructive.
Keep practicing these phrases, keep your delivery calm and steady, and remember, your professional value deserves to be heard.
If you enjoyed today's expanded episode, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below using at least one of our 6 vocabulary words in a sentence.
Take care of your confidence, keep learning every single day. This is Heron.
And this is Fleur, and you've been listening to Fleur Fluency. See you next time. Bye!